And welcome to my channel. And so I've got 8 tips that I want to talk about today. 8 things that I think that people should do that are the most important on starting a raw vegan diet. Sometimes it could be overwhelming to start a raw vegan lifestyle for some people. And for most of us, it's just not the everyday lifestyle. So we have to change our thinking and the way that we used to do things. And one of the number one ways that I started a raw vegan diet, and I think it's the best way, is to really start going through your cabinets and get your kitchen set up for a raw vegan lifestyle. Make sure that you don't have a lot of the processed boxed foods and things around that are going to tempt you to eat them. And think about adding all fresh fruits, vegetables to your refrigerator, green leafy, kale, dandelions, things like that. You want to start adding these things into your life slowly. And sometimes if you're feeling like you might have a hard time digesting a lot of things like kale, some things could be a little bit harder on your stomach, you can use spring mix and things like that. But start incorporating a lot more colors and a lot more green leafy vegetables. 2 tip is to start juicing more. Get yourself a juicer. I know that sometimes people can't afford like the Nama juicer, and it's a great juicer and it might make life easier for some people, but some people can't afford that. There's cheaper juices that you can buy even at Walmart that'll get you through. And I think that juicing is something that will help you on getting started with your raw vegan diet. You might want to do juice fasting. Sometimes people may not want to do 30 days right away, and that's fine. You can start to add little short juice fasts, even if it's 2-3 days. And, just start incorporating more juices and more smoothies. Smoothies are also really important. It's important to get the pulp also, I think. And I think that smoothies is a great way of introducing your body to a lot of the vegetables and foods that sometimes in the beginning can be a little bit hard to digest, especially because you're not used to all of these green leafy things and stuff. So I think that adding them into your smoothies where they're broken down is a great way of getting them into your system. Number 3 is to find a reputable company that you can take some different supplements. And I know that some raw vegans are not really into supplements, and there's a lot of dogma about taking supplements, but I don't mean taking vitamin supplements. I mean like powdered things that you can add to your smoothies. And I feel that this is really vitally important because I think that there is a lot missing in the foods, and it's not just the foods. Even if you're like me and you buy things very fresh and you do a lot to try to eat as much green leafy vegetables and things as you can, we do kind of run out of time, and there's a lot of the trace minerals that you can be missing. Things like chlorella, spirulina, things that you can pick out in your yard, like plantain. Plantain is very, very good for you. It will give you loads of energy. But things like that are kind of minerals that are missing in the body sometimes that you can get out of some of these powdered supplements. And some of the companies that I have liked personally is I get some supplements from Purium. That's one good company. I love Marcus Rothkranz. He has great products. His green formula has tons and tons of good greens and all kinds of things that you wouldn't normally get in your diet on a regular basis. So I just think it's important to really check into a lot of these things. do history and read and check it out with your body. You know, try things. What works for one person doesn't work for another. But I think that adding things like this into your smoothies is really important. So number 4 tip would be to start to add little things to your kitchen, little gadgets. You might not be able to afford them all at once. Maybe you can't afford a Vitamix right away, and maybe just get your first NutriBullet if you don't have a NutriBullet, and just start making smoothies in that for a while. You know, Titan peelers, spiralizers, all those kinds of things. A good knife is probably the most important thing to start with, but these are things that I would get started with so that it makes life easier when you have these gadgets, and it'll be fun in your kitchen. You know, you want to make fun out of this, so these are things that I would start focusing on getting ready. Number 5 is to start getting some sprouting in your life. And I know I mention this in all of my videos because I just think that it's so important, and it's so easy, and it's so good. You know, because a lot of times when we buy things in the grocery store and they've been sitting for a while, if you don't get them fresh enough, or they sit in your refrigerator, when you sprout things, I have some sunflower sprouts. This is my favorite to sprout. It's really so easy. It might seem complicated, but it's not. It's so easy to just sprout them, plant them, and then they grow. And I also have some broccoli sprouts. I think that sprouting is really, really a good way to get started with little things like that. You don't have to get into the great big ordeals that are going to be hours involved in trying to buy all these trays and everything. It's so easy to have a mason jar, and you can just use, you know, one of these little things to put them on or whatever. Very simple. Things like herbs, adding, you know, parsley and cilantro. And the reason I think things like this are so important is because I feel like these herbs and these sprouts are something that will really give you that life force right away. And it also helps, I feel, to banish a lot of the cravings that you have. Because a lot of times when we're craving foods, it really has to do with lack of minerals in the body and certain things that the body's not getting. And when you've been eating processed foods and all of those kind of things, your body's telling you that you need more and more of that, and more of the proteins and the fats and stuff like that. And we do need some of that, but a lot of times we're missing a lot of these vital trace minerals and different things that are going to really make us feel good and make us feel more satiated. I mean, sprouts really fill you up. You can get a lot of them out of one little thing. You can get a lot of them. So number 6 is to get plenty of rest. And the reason I say this is because I think people don't get enough rest a lot of times and don't get to bed early enough. I think it's really important to try to shoot between, you know, trying to get to sleep by 10 and 2 are the most important times to release the hormones properly. And I think that eating late at night is a very poor decision to make for a lot of people. And these are things that a lot of people are doing that, you know, it can help you a lot to get a good night's sleep. And you're not getting good rest if you're eating late at night. So I think that at least stopping food 3 hours before bed and getting a good night's rest is so vitally important to your whole entire system. A raw vegan diet just isn't about food. It's about changing lifestyle ways and getting more rest and being healthier all the way around. My number 7 tip is to not listen to dogma. Do not listen to other people. You can get advice from other people, but you have to listen to your own body. You have to do your own research and research it on yourself, on your own body. It's just like talking earlier about the supplements and things, and some people may tell you not to take supplements. You have to do what works for you, and you have to try different things to see what works for you. And what works for somebody else may not work for you, and what works for somebody else because they've been in it longer than you have and you're just starting might be different for you also. So these things that I'm saying are just suggestions. They're things that I did and that really helped me and that I really think are important, but they're just suggestions, and that you do have to learn how to listen to your own body. And the one really good thing about a raw vegan lifestyle and diet is the fact that when you start eating this way, your body has a way of telling you everything. If you stop taking something that you were taking and you feel a difference, it's because there was something in that you needed that was really working for you. And I've had to go through processes like that all during this time, and I learned a lot about my own body, and these are the things that I found out. So just remember to listen to your own body. So for my last, number 8 and final tip is to just go easy on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Make sure that you are not worrying about so many little details of perfection in this raw vegan lifestyle. This is not about being perfect. This is about doing the best that you can. And every day that you get up and you try and you're doing better than you did the day before, you're that much closer to better health and better decisions and better than what you have done the day before. And just keep going. Don't strive for perfection. You can strive for perfection, but don't expect perfection out of yourself, and you'll have a much easier time. And don't think that everybody around you is going to live this lifestyle, because this lifestyle is against the grain of a lot of things that most people in this society do. So give yourself a pat on the back for even wanting to try and for wanting to better your life. And so that's my 8th tip, and I hope that these tips help people. I hope that people are encouraged to start a raw vegan lifestyle. Don't be so afraid of it. It doesn't have to be 100%. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and have a wonderful, blessed day.